everybody, Sam Strains here, welcome back to the Railway. Hope you're all doing okay. I'm coming at you today with another locomotive review, and as you can tell it is this. It's a Bachmann A4, as you can tell by the box, and it's very exciting today actually because I have two of them to unbox, which is always great. Here's the other one, and as you can tell by the boxes, both of these show Mallard in BR green, but actually neither of them are Mallard and neither of them are in BR green, so well done Bachmann, you got that spot on, didn't you? No, I guess it's just the same photo they use for all A4s, which is fair enough, I suppose. Anyway, I will start with this one because it's probably the most interesting one. So, yeah, it's the standard Bachmann packaging from a few years ago. And on the end of the box, you can see the product number, which is 31-950X. A4 2509 Silver Link LNER Silver Grey. So yeah, quite an unusual livery. I suppose you normally see them in the BR green or maybe the LNER blue. So that is why I bought this, and I think it's also a special edition of some sort, and I think there's a certificate inside, so we'll see whether or not that's true in a second. But yeah, let's get it out then, and I should say as well the other one is quite an unusual livery as well, which is partly why I bought them, I suppose. So anyway, here we go then. So you can see the card on the front there, Gresley A4, and inside it, aha, there's a certificate. Okay, this says that it is number 215 of a production run of 500, and it says it was exclusively produced for Southampton Model Centre, but I didn't get it from there. I got it from eBay, but it must have come from there, I suppose. Okay, next thing you get is this. Oh yeah, this is the exploded diagram. So as you can see, this is the split chassis model, which is a little bit old-fashioned, and they do tend to run quite well actually, but not quite as smoothly as the modern ones. But not to worry, I do quite like those. And then I think the rest of it is just guff really. Yeah, the guarantee, Collectors Club, not bothered about any of that. Anyway, on the back of here you can see a brief history of the A4. Blooming heck, if that's brief, you're going to be here a long time. But yeah, you can pause it and read it if you like, but I will read some of it to you later on. So yeah, that's fine. But here is the logo, here's the thing we're all looking for, and yes, it's Silver Link, of course, number 2509, if I got that right, upside down. Okay, let's have a look at the detail packs then. Now, if you notice this little slit, I don't know how you're supposed to get hold of it. My big fingers certainly won't fit in there, so I've used every inch of my ingenuity and produced this pair of tweezers. So let's see what it. I think I know what this is actually. Yeah. Yeah, it's just the what is it now? It's the brake rigging. There you go. So you put that on the bottom of the loco, and they're basically the brakes. But I won't do that now. I'll put those back in there, and in here I can get these with my fingers. Ooh, and this is nice. So you actually get your painted figures. Look, it's quite hard to get hold of these painted figures actually, for free certainly. And I think they might be steps as well. I thought they might have been little seats for the driver to sit on or whatever, but no, I think they are steps. So that's quite nice. It's very nice for them to include that. But let's get the loco out then. Move my tweezers. Okay, let's get the tender first. And of course this is quite an old-fashioned loco, so the tender isn't connected permanently or anything like that. But there it is then, the Silver Link tender in that lovely silver grey colour. Quite unusual, of course. I suppose most of the Hornby ones are either BR green or the LNER blue. So yeah, it's quite nice to see something different. It's quite unusual. I don't remember the Hornby ones having this contraption on the back. But they might have done, I'm not sure. So yeah, very nice as you can see, very nicely painted too, but more on that later. Let's try and get the loco then, and I think this is a bit awkward to get out. Oh no, I've got it, okay. So there it is then, Silver Link, what a beauty that is. Very nicely painted, it's got some good weight to it as well, I must admit. Yeah, it's quite a lovely model, that one. Let me try and hold the tender with it. There we go. So there it is, Silver Link, absolutely beautiful, and I'm really pleased with this. It didn't cost a lot either. I think it was about £75, something like that, so you can't really go wrong with that, can you? Anyway, I'll put this to one side for just a second, and of course you will see her again very shortly, but there is the other one to get out, so I will do that. So it's in the same packaging. Let me try and get it in the shot. Oops, there we go. It's in the same packaging, so nothing different there, but on the end of the box you can see that this is 31-956 A4 4482 Golden Eagle LNER Doncaster Green. And of course, to me, Doncaster Green is LNER Green, just if you were wondering. So yep, let's get this one out then, and it's a different box style. This one just slides off. And you've got the same card here on the top with the details on the back, but I won't show you that because it is exactly the same. And then you have the same exploder diagram, so I won't bother showing you that. But there it is. What a gorgeous livery that is. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it takes the breath away a little bit, doesn't it? I'm not joking when I say that. It sounded sarcastic, but I didn't mean it to. Alright, it looks like there's a different detail pack in there, so I'll try and find me tweezers. Yeah, I don't know, it's like a creamy... Oh, maybe they've put it in cardboard. Let's have a look. Ooh, this is mysterious. Well, it's probably just the vacuum, the brake rigging again, but we'll see. Oh, it's not. I've just seen something poke out. Oh, nice. Look at that. That is a pair of etched nameplates for Golden Eagle. That's very nice, isn't it? They don't look all that different to the ones that are fitted on the loco, actually, but yeah, I suppose they're more sort of embossed. Right, let me pop those back in. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really too sure how to fit these things. A lot of the instructions I've seen say fit them with blue tack, but even I'm not that dodgy. And I really don't like the idea of gluing them on either, just because, you know, super glue and models don't seem to mix all that well. And yeah, it looks like we've got some steps again. Let me try and get one of those out. Yeah, they're very large steps, aren't they? I don't know exactly where they would go. Even, I don't know if they are steps, to be honest. They're not forced to be. But yeah, they're very, very big. Well, I don't fit them anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, let's get them out. Tender first then. And it is exactly the same tender, but of course it's very, very different looking because of the different paint job. But yeah, we've still got this contraption on the top, but the LNER green is absolutely stunning, as I'm sure you'll agree. So that is lovely. More on that later. Let's try and get the loco out then. This one's a bit easier. There we go. So there it is then, number 4482, Golden Eagle. What a beauty. Absolutely gorgeous. I think, and I don't know if I'm going to annoy people by saying this, but I think this is probably my favourite of the A4 liveries. It's very unusual, and I do very much like it. Let me put the tender with it then. There you go. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay, well, I'm going to show you one. I think I'll show you Silverlink up close in just a second. I'll review it properly for you. But for now, here is a little bit of information on the A4s. And I'm just talking while I'm doing this, put them together. I won't lie them down because I don't fancy doing that. So anyway, then, here is a little bit of history on the class. So first of all, a very quick shout out to Dreamlover90, RNG Productions 05 and Morgan 469, and those guys asked me for a quick shout out, so thank you very much guys for watching and getting in touch as always, much appreciated. Anyway, the A4s were a class of LNER Pacifics designed by Sir Nigel Gresley and introduced in 1935. And the first locomotive was actually Silverlink, and she broke all speed records during her very first run. The A4s were made most famous by Mallard though, which was also known as the world's fastest steam locomotive, and she achieved that title in 1938 at 126 point something miles an hour. And I'll try and run her later on for you. The A4s were based on the Class A1, which was also a Gresley design, but it was produced around 15 years before the A4s. 35 A4s were built in total, and neither of these two survived unfortunately, but 6 are left and Mallard is one of them. All members of the class retained their streamlining permanently, unlike some other classes, like the Coronation for instance, they had them removed. But no, the A4s kept their streamlining for their entire lives. Anyway, on with the review then, here we go. So there she is then, Silverlink up against the white background, and it is absolutely beautiful, as I'm sure you could tell. Now, I'm not 100% sure how old these are. Having said that, the detail on them is pretty good. I would say they're better generally than the Hornby Railroad A4s, but that being said, the modern Hornby Super Detail A4s are a lot better than this, in my opinion. But as you can see, the lining isn't too bad. It is quite nicely applied, but it is only the single banded lining, as you can see going across the streamlining there. I don't know whether it was like that in real life. It probably was, I'm not too sure. But the other printed detail is quite nicely done as well. The Silverlink name, as you can see, which is about halfway down the body, very nicely applied there, as well as the running number, which is done in that LNER font, but of course in the silver. On the front buffer beam there's also some printing. You can see the running number is down there, and no sprung buffers unfortunately. Let me just show you that. Yep, they are just static buffers. Not a problem of course, but it's just worth pointing out. There's a fair few separately fitted parts. Obviously, I would say the most obvious is the handrail here, which is in that very lovely shiny silver, very nicely done there. And on the side of the cab there's also a fair bit of handrailing there, as well as separately fitted glazed windows. The whistle just in front of the chimney is separately fitted too, and the safety valves, as you can see just on the top here, they are separately fitted and they are made of metal. This particular model has the covers over the linkage, which I do quite like actually. Obviously sometimes they appeared without them, but you can just see peeking out from under there the gorgeous Walschaerts valve gear, all those rods and connecting rods and valves and all that sort of thing. Looks absolutely fantastic under there, and the wheels too, as you can see, are done into that silver colour. The rear truck as well, it is articulated, which is different to the Hornby ones I believe, which are just static, so that is a nice touch. And as you can see, the axle box there is painted nicely. Unfortunately, there isn't any painted detail inside the cab. The cab detail is there, of course, but it is just in that black. So a little bit of a shame on that. That's probably what lets it down the most, in fact. But apart from that, a pretty good loco. Not badly detailed at all. The tender actually is equally nicely detailed, if not maybe more. The L&ER printing is very nicely applied, as you'd expect, but the undercarriage is really what catches my eye. You can see all the suspension and the axle boxes are done into that slightly darker grey colour, which I think is a superb effect. It's very, very unusual, isn't it? I can't think of another loco that looks quite like this. For obvious reasons, I don't have that many silver ones. The coal up on the top, quite nicely done. It is quite fine scale, probably better than the railroad coal in fact. And as you can see all along the top there, I suppose that's to do with the water, isn't it? But it's very nicely detailed and very nicely riveted. Around the back you can see that this is the corridor tender because it's got the sort of doorway on the back. But there's also quite a bit of detail there, including the handrails, the turned metal buffers, and also a little window so that you can see out the back there. It's quite interesting, that is, isn't it? So yes, not the most detailed loco I've ever seen, but certainly not the most expensive, and certainly not the worst. So yes, I'm quite pleased with this. As I said, about £75 I paid for this. And Golden Eagle is similar in detail, though it does have the double banding here, and that one was £56 I think, which is even better. Anyway, let's see how they run then. Let me take them down onto the railway and give them a try, shall we? So I thought I would let Golden Eagle take over from here for the in-depth performance test. So Golden Eagle is about to couple up to a series of 7 teak coaches, as you can see there, so hopefully that will look nice with her. I think those suited her the best. And then on the middle line, of course, Silver Link. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of the proper silver coaches, so I put the closest thing I had, which was Pullman coaches, because of course they have their silver roofs. So yeah, apologies for that, but hopefully they will be okay. And then on the very inner line, as promised, you have Mallard in BR Green, which was on the boxes. And for a change, I thought she could have a mixture of various coaches. So you've got BR coaches, Pullman coaches, teaks, whatever. Just a bit of a mixture like you get on heritage lines. And also elsewhere on the line there are 6 other locomotives, and one of them is an odd one out, so see if you can figure out which one that is. But for now then, let's get 4482 tested, Golden Eagle. Let's see how she goes. Now, I've been pretty nasty, and I've left her sitting right on an express point where she is now, so this should be the ultimate test. So I'm just going to give her a little bit of juice and ease her up on the power very gently. And she started quite quickly, and as you can see, that is quite a good slow speed. Very, very good. Speed her up a tad more. Yeah, that's very impressive, isn't it? It's not sort of smooth, but it's very, very slow, so you can forgive it for not being smooth at that speed. Okay, let's go back. Let's try going over that dead spot. Ooh, steady, steady. Let's try going over that dead spot on the express points. Go on, a bit quicker. Yeah, they are good runners. I don't know, when they run, it feels like there's a lot of machinery sort of grinding together inside it, if that makes sense. The Hornby ones seem to be very smooth, and they don't seem to be trying too hard, if that makes sense. These, it seems like there's a lot of energy. I don't know, it's very strange. It seems like there's just a lot of work being put into moving the loco. I don't know how to explain it. Not so much at these slow speeds, but once it gets going quicker. Anyway, I'm rambling and I realise I'm not making much sense, so let's go and couple to the coaches. Nicely does it. I'll try and slow down a bit for the coupling. Don't want to kill any passengers today. There we go. That was very professional, wasn't it? Okay, well, let me just turn this up a little bit. There we go. Okay, so 7 coaches. That's quite a good amount, I suppose. Let's see if she can manage it. Nice gentle start. And we'll get her up to a nice A4 speed, shall we? Oh yes. One of the best things in life, isn't it? Okay, let's get Golden Eagle... No, let's get Silver Link started. I do apologise if I've already made that mistake and not realised it. But here she goes then. Nice steady start. She runs just about the same. Pretty powerful, as you can see. Only 5 Pullman coaches though, so not quite the same load. Okay, and last but not least then, Mallard in the BR green. Here she goes. Now this one again is DCC fitted, but I'm running her on DC, so she might jump. Oh no, that was very good. And off she goes, managing her coaches just fine as well. Okay folks, enjoy this running session. Absolutely superb, isn't it? There's something very special about the A4s, isn't there? I do love that LNER green. It is absolutely superb, that is. It just looks amazing on an A4, and I love the silver as well, just because it's so unusual. Now the beady-eyed among you will have already noticed that the second hill, is currently missing, and that's just because I've taken it into the garden to do the same process as I've done on this one here on the left. So that should be back within the next couple of videos. I'm just waiting on some turf to arrive, which is dragging its feet a little bit, so it would be back by now, but yeah, still waiting for it to be delivered. So as soon as it comes, I'll get it turfed and get it back up here for you. So it should look better. There's still some things I've got to touch up. You see this horrible, mysterious carpet. That needs to be hidden, but that shouldn't be a problem. And now for my ratings then on the Bachmann A4s. First of all, detail 7 out of 10. Certainly not bad, but I've certainly seen better. Performance 9 out of 10. Apart from the fact that they can't easily be converted to DCC, they are superb runners, so 9 out of 10. Character 9 out of 10. Bachmann seems to have done a very good job of capturing those. And build quality, again 9 out of 10. They seem to be quite well built, and yeah, I haven't really had a problem, to be honest. Value, I paid £55 for Golden Eagle and about £75 I think for Silver Link, so again not bad at all, 9 out of 10 there, giving them overall 8.45 out of 10, and if I put those into the rankings that puts them 11th, just above the Hornby T9 and below the Railroad Schools class. Mallard's going quite quick, but that's quite normal for a DCC loco. They do tend to fly a bit when you put them on DC. Where's the others? They should be turning up soon. There we go, they should cross over actually. Oh, that's nice. Get some more interesting angles anyway now that the other hill isn't there. So it's not all bad news. Not that this is a particularly good shot. So I'll list all the various A4 liveries in a poll, and you guys can let me know which is your favourite. And bonus points to anybody who can think of a livery that I've forgotten, because it's always possible that that'll happen. But yeah, it would be interesting to know what you guys prefer. I suppose I'll go ahead and say it's the LNER green, Doncaster green. Oh dear, what's happened here? Alright, I've just got to go and fix this. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. I didn't see it. All I saw was Mallard stopped with a coach right in its face. So obviously the back coach somehow got detached. I don't really know how though. More than likely though it had something to do with that troublesome Bullman. He's always messing around with coaches and things. You see, I told you. But everything's alright now. I'm going to go and move that Bullman. I don't want him anywhere near my coaches. Anyway folks, I do hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, if you did, please feel free to leave it a like or even a comment, because I do love it when you get in touch with some feedback. And also, if you'd like to, you can check out the Facebook and Twitter pages, and they're at facebook.com/samstrains or twitter.com/samstrains. It would be lovely to see you on there, but for now folks, thank you once again very much for watching. Oh, and I'll show you the Wall of Fame very quickly. Here's how it's getting on. There's some new entries on there, including a nice photo of Percy. So if you'd like to send yours in, please do. You can email any picture you like, within reason, please be clean, to samstrains@outlook.com. I've never had a dirty one, by the way, so I don't know why I said that. But yeah, samstrains@outlook.com, you can send those in and I'll print them out and put them up for you, and you might see yourself in a video. But for now folks, once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you very soon. Cheers everybody.